Hey guys, it's him, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. Now, a couple of things on tonight's Monday Night Raw. A, was a better show than we've had the last 2 weeks or so. And B, because they filmed it in that Muhammad Abdul Arena or whatever it's called in Saudi Arabia, it just looked and felt like a bigger show, like a bigger deal show. So, yeah. Also, where's Luke? I don't know. Is this Luke or is this somebody in a Luke costume just laying down?
I don't know who this Luke guy is. Have you heard of him?
Sometimes. But yeah, as far as Raw does go, I thought it was a good show. Easy to watch, quick 2 hours. And like, man, I know we can't do this every week, have like the big sets like this and the extra graphic walls and stuff, because even like when the Usos and Sammy were in the ring and they had that screen behind them that said Raw in the crowd, I'm just like, man, this looks cool, this looks great, but it's a Saudi thing because they're in Saudi Arabia. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll go back to regular venues. I don't even know where next week's Raw is. Where's next week's Monday Night Raw? Let me go to WWE's website really fast while I look at that. This is Luke, and Luke, how are you doing, and what'd you think of Raw?
I'm doing all right. And as far as Raw does go, I thought it was a pretty good show. Like, I know we talked about this before we started, but like, I think with like the building that they were in for their Saudi show last Saturday, it felt like a very important Raw.
Yeah. Also, Michael Cole forgot that this show was airing on a Monday, because when he was talking about Bianca Belair, he was like, that crowd was electric for their match last night. And I was like, oh, he's on a Sunday recording this show, forgetting that it's airing on a Monday. Gotcha. I thought that was funny. That was the only one I noticed, the little flub.
I mean, did you see any of the spoilers like going into Raw?
Oh, we did a whole spoiler video last night of all of it. Well, everything that the live crowd saw.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. So I already knew 99% of the show. And even with knowing that, I still enjoyed the show.
I mean, I only saw one thing. It was someone airing a video of like the Wyatt 6 vignette.
So the Miz deal?
Yeah, that's the only thing I saw. Oh, did you see Karrion Kross doing like a video with Scarlett? Like, we gotta go find Miz.
Oh, and he was like drawing, and then yeah, that was funny as hell.
Yeah, like, oh, he's like, how long has he been missing? Like 20 minutes. And he's like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he did. Oh, did you see the video when they kidnapped Miz? It was from like
I saw that.
From like a Raw talk. I'm like, interesting. But we got much stuff to talk about. We got a good Monday Night Raw. We're on the road to Survivor Series. Now, speaking of Survivor Series, everyone's kind of overlooking Survivor Series, I feel, because we're hearing all these rumors of, oh, Kevin Owens is going to challenge Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. Damian Priest may challenge Gunther at Saturday night's main event. But it's like, we got Survivor Series first. Are we not doing like world title matches at Survivor Series? That's my big question. All we know is there's going to be a War Games match, and it's most likely Bloodline versus Bloodline. What are your thoughts on Survivor Series upcoming and whatnot? Because it is only how many weeks away? It's the 30th, so that is 1, 2. They have 3 more Raws and 4 more SmackDowns before Survivor Series.
Apparently, I'm confirmed as the 5th member of the Bloodline. Apparently, according to the Twitch chat.
Well, they don't need a 5th member. They've got 4. It's 4 on 4. So they don't even need a 5th member. I mean, technically, you'd be the 6th member because number 5 is Paul Heyman. Do I have a theory on when he's coming back?
If Paul Heyman's going to come back anytime soon, it would have to be random.
Right, but it's going to be before Survivor Series. And I'm going to talk about when I think Paul Heyman could come back or why they need Paul Heyman back when we get to the Usos and Sammy stuff.
Right. But I wonder if the new Bloodline will eventually get their wise man. Like their own wise man.
I don't think they would. I think if they were going to, they probably would have already.
Dude, I think maybe they could wait until like Paul comes back. They'd be like, oh, you have your own wise man? Or you got the original wise man back for you. We have our new wise man.
Okay. So who do you think it would be then? If you think they're going to get a wise man or could get a wise man? I have no clue who it could be.
I know who, but I just can't think of his name. It's the guy who managed Umaga.
Oh, you think that would work Freaking Armando Estrada.
Yeah.
That could work. I mean, I was watching that. Go for it.
I mean, he did manage Jacob Fatu a little bit on the indies.
Right. And I was watching that match on Saturday with the Bloodline and everything. And you could tell Solo has been watching Umaga matches because he does all the Umaga mannerisms and everything.
He's always done that though.
No, I feel like he's ramping it up recently. Within the last couple of months, he's been doing it even more. He does the Simone Spike and everything, but for some reason, I don't know why, it just felt like he's been doing the Umaga stuff even more recently. Maybe that's why. Maybe you're not far off on this Armando Estrada.
I mean, he signed a Legends deal with WWE recently.
True.
So could happen, but we'll see. I don't know if he wants to do stuff on TV. Yeah, if I'm being completely honest.
I have no clue, but we'll see about all of that. Give me 1 second to check something, guys. I need to switch something really, really quickly. Take me 2 seconds. Then we will get this show on the road. Oh, why is this not wanting to load? Technical difficulties while we're live. It's all good. It happens. It happens. And there we go. I think that worked. Figure it out when we figure it out. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out on YouTube with the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos, that way you know when we go live, and that way you know when we post to the community tab. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. You can do so even just at the $1 tier. We greatly, greatly appreciate it, whether that's here, youtube.com or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're wish listing and waiting for that new TMNT Splintered Fate game. Maybe you're getting into that new season of Fortnite Remix Chapter 2. Or you're getting the new Dragon Age The Veilguard. Use our code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Also, remember, podcast is brought to you by Aura Frames, but we'll talk about that later. As far as Monday Night Raw does go, the show opens up with Liv Morgan, and she did the cringiest thing. And I know someone's going to contradict me, but I'll explain myself in a second. She comes out with Raquel and Dom. And she's got her championship. She's got her big ring. And she says, "Welcome to Monday Night Morgan." And I'm like, oh, yeah, that didn't work. That was dumb. That didn't work. And I know someone's going to go, "Well, you never said it's dumb when Seth Rollins does it, Monday Night Rollins." And here's why. At least when Rollins does it, it's a play on words. Monday Night Raw-lins. It flows. Monday Night Raw, Rollins. So, yeah, I thought it just didn't work when Liv did it. The crowd did not really react much to it. They kind of booed, but not really booed. And yeah, I don't think it worked. But she was in the ring. She said the Revenge Tour is now over, and we are now on the Liv Morgan World Tour. She said she took out Rhea Ripley for the third time. She's going to be out for a while. She beat Tiffany Stratton last week, traveled halfway around the world, and became the inaugural Crown Jewel champion. Actually said the inaugural and only Crown Jewel Women's champion. Dom then said that he's going to win tonight and become the next world champion. Crowd booed loudly. This then led to Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair making their way out to the ring, interrupting the champs interrupting champs. Belair then recalled their interaction last week, and Cargill challenged them to a tag match. Morgan tried to create some dissension between the tag team champions, saying, "You're not real friends, unlike me and Raquel, who we've been friends for a very long time. We even held them titles together." Anna Pierce then came out and said, "We ain't doing this right here. No. We need to figure out who your next challenger is, Liv, and we're going to do that tonight in a battle royal. Also, I'm going to up the ante. Tag team champions, you're in the battle royal as well." And Liv got all upset about it, and he said, "The match starts now." Liv and Raquel went to ringside to watch, and Dominic kind of just disappeared as the match began. What did you think of this opening segment of Raw?
I mean, it was all right. It was mainly just setting up the battle royal.
Yeah. That's all it really was. Well, and I forgot an important line here. Because when Jade and Bianca were getting out of the ring, Morgan goes, "Hey, Jade, just watch out before Bianca puts that knife in your back." And Bianca got all mad, and Liv was like, "Oh, you didn't like what I had to say there, Bianca?" So there. I mean, I think Mania is going to be the big Jade Bianca match. What do you think?
It would be the first time we see a women's match that's not for like a one-on-one singles match. Like, no, I'm trying. One-on-one women's singles match that's not for a title.
Really?
At Mania. I think so.
Huh.
Like, look that up real quick, because I'm pretty sure that's right.
Go for it.
I don't think we've ever seen a one-on-one women's singles match for a title at Mania. Or that's not for a title. I can't even speak today.
You know, now that I think about it, you could be right. Google it and see why I recap this, what's it called? Battle Royal. As far as this Battle Royal does go, it was a multi-woman Battle Royal. I don't even think I got the names of everybody, but it was all your usual suspects on Monday Night Raw. The opening portion of the match followed a familiar pattern. Someone would shine, someone would get eliminated, and then they'd be eliminated. That's how these matches always go. It's, I look good. Oh my God, I'm eliminated. Oh my God, you just got eliminated. So yeah, kind of by the numbers. Hayden Carter eliminated Isla Dawn as the first one out. Shayna Baszler almost eliminated Carter, but Katana Chance made the save. Sonya Deville picked up the pieces and eliminated Carter anyway. Maxine Dupree then got a little moment to shine, but was then quickly eliminated by, well, Ivy Nile. Nile was then eliminated by Zelina Vega with a not that good look of 619. I'll have to say, not that good looking 619, unfortunately. Excuse me. During the break, Kairi Sane eliminated Zelina Vega, Natalya eliminated Alba Fire, and Io Sky eliminated Katana Chance. Chance was seemingly eliminated earlier, but she didn't land on her feet, so she was still able to go. Belair then eliminated Kairi Sane before Baszler and Deville eliminated Natalya. Baszler and Deville had their back and forth, and their backs turned, and they were dumped by Belair and Cargill. So that then left Belair, Cargill, Lyra Valkyria, and Io Sky as the final four. Cargill and Belair would end up facing off for a moment. Cargill and Belair, like not really fighting each other, but it's like trying to like come up with a attack plan, I guess you would say. Cargill and Belair then fought everybody off. Cargill then hit the Jaded, and Bianca hit a KOD. All of a sudden, Raquel and Liv came and pulled Bianca by her hair. Jade tried to save her, and then they were both pulled out and eliminated by Raquel and Liv, which then left Lyra and Io to have an amazing sequence here at the end. Like this, these two killed it here. This was great. This was really, really good. Eventually, they end up fighting on the apron. They're throwing shots and hard hits and this and that, and then eventually Valkyria booted Sky into the ring post, but Sky followed this up with the German suplex on the apron. Valkyria fell off the apron onto the floor, and Io is your new number one contender for the Women's World Championship, but we don't know when. That's the weird thing. We don't know when. Any thoughts on the Battle Royal?
I mean, it was fine, but yeah, like I just looked it up. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had like a one-on-one women's match that wasn't for a title at Mania.
Interesting.
Apparently, WrestleMania 29, we did not have a women's match.
At all?
I don't think so, no.
Well, trying to think. Hold on. The WrestleMania 29 had what? That's when
The main event was
Well, no,
Brock versus Cena.
No, I know that. But isn't that when Eve Torres kicked Zack Ryder in the balls?
No, that was 28.
Oh, was it? Okay, then never mind. I was thinking of the wrong show. But
Yeah,
yeah,
29, we didn't have a women's match.
looking at it right here. Miz versus Wade Barrett for the IC title. Shield versus Big Show, Orton, and Sheamus. Mark Henry versus Ryback. Team Hell No versus Big E and Dolph, which I think that was Big E's first main roster match, too. He actually talked about that over the weekend. Fandango and Chris Jericho. That was a big deal. Alberto defeated Jack Swagger with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. The Undertaker, CM Punk. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, No Holds Barred. And John Cena and The Rock. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. No women's match at all. And
I think AJ was the Divas champion at the time, I think.
Maybe. I know she was. No, I don't think she was. No, she wasn't. But she was with Dolph at the time because she came out with Dolph and Big E for that match, the tag title match.
No, the women's champion I think was Caitlyn.
Oof, that was forever ago. I don't even think she held the title that long.
She beat Eve Torres for it, and Eve I think retired.
I'll tell you right now who the champion was. It was. Give me the list. Where's the list? It was. 2013. The champion was. Yes. So Caitlyn had won the title in September of 2012 from Eve. Held it. No, January of 2013. I'm looking at this wrong. January of 2013. Held it through WrestleMania. And then AJ Lee beat her for it in June of 2013. And held it for almost a full year before dropping it to Paige. Lost to Paige after the next WrestleMania, that next night. Yeah, it was Caitlyn, and that was a very unmemorable title reign, I'll just say.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that title reign.
Yeah, me too. Because Eve Torres had beaten Layla to win the belt. And then Layla, yeah, you're right. She did the retire thing. Caitlyn won it on the 20th anniversary of Raw and held it till Payback.
That's kind of weird that Eve retired like right after that.
I mean, she was around for a little while. I don't know. They used her very up and down, I felt like. So yeah, Io Sky is the new number one contender for Liv Morgan in the Women's World Championship, and we'll see when that match takes place. We have no clue whether that's a Raw, whether that's a Survivor Series, Saturday night's main event. We will have to see. But 3.5 minutes left in this football game, and the Chiefs have taken the lead.
Wait, isn't Eve Torres on a Legends deal for WWE?
I don't know. It's so hard to keep track of who is and who isn't.
I know she's in the video game.
Well, that doesn't matter for Legends deals because that is 2K going to people saying, hey, we'd like to put you in the game. Would you like to sign a contract to be in the game? That's why there was one game recently that Mick Foley wasn't in because they couldn't come to terms or something. And it wasn't a WWE thing. It was a 2K thing.
Yeah, that was same with Kurt Angle one year.
Yeah. Eve Torres. I don't think she is. Not that I can see. But I have no clue.
So I wonder if she's someone that they could induct into the Hall of Fame anytime soon.
I hope it doesn't come off wrong, but when it comes to the women that they induct, they'll induct any woman, to be honest. So I wouldn't put it against them. But then at the same time, it's like, what did Eve really do to deserve to be in the quote Hall of Fame?
I mean, she did a little bit in like 2011.
I mean, her big claim to fame is I kicked Zack Ryder in the balls at WrestleMania. That's what most people remember her for. So,
And like she was the
GM's assistant.
GM's assistant. And I think when John Laurinaitis got fired, she was the assistant for Teddy Long.
Holla. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to women they can put in the Hall of Fame, she's very low on my list. If I'm going to be completely honest.
Who else do they add? Michelle McCool?
Oh, 100% eventually. 100%.
I wonder if they'll do Laycool, her and Layla, because I think Layla kind of deserves it.
That's a tough one. I think you do Michelle McCool by herself. That's a tough one.
You don't want to do Laycool?
I don't know. I feel like Michelle McCool was a great act, but I think Michelle McCool did a lot more by herself. A lot more good by herself. Again, Laycool was a great act, but it's like you're going to induct them, and what's everyone going to go? Everyone's just going to talk about the Picky James if you induct them together. If you induct them separately, no one's going to bring up Picky James.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that why Mickey left?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of it, but I mean, if we look at like other women that can go in, eventually AJ is going to go in. You would think once she's no longer associated with AEW, Paige Saraya.
She would be the first wrestler to go in who was a former NXT champion.
That is true.
So I think she should be the first one to go in.
Well, depending on when she goes in, because there's, they could always maybe induct, like, I doubt he's retiring anytime soon, but like a Drew McIntyre or something.
Robert Roode, I doubt it.
No, he didn't do enough in WWE. I could see the argument for it, but I don't think he did enough.
I mean, he can go in as like a mid-card guy, though.
Yeah, but everyone's going to say, because if you think about it, how long was his real run in WWE? Like 4 years, if that?
When did he go to the main roster? I'm trying to think when he went to the main roster. Like 2018?
I'll tell you right now. Robert Roode. Old Bobby Roode.
I think his most memorable thing on the main roster was probably just teaming with Dolph Ziggler.
That's what I was going to say. So he came to WWE in 2016. Main roster by 2017. Won the U.S. title. Tag titles with Dolph. And so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 22. He did 6 years. I didn't realize it was that long that he was in WWE. Holy shit. Because he came in 16 and he wrestled up to 2022. Because he was in the 2022 Royal Rumble. He was in the 2022 WrestleMania Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He was eliminated last by Madcap Moss. And his final match was June 25th, 2022.
That long ago?
Yeah. Because they had the neck surgery, and then he was trying to see, how he was going to heal from it, see if he can come back, and then they just said, hey, you want to be a producer?
I'm pretty sure he's retired now.
I believe so, yes. But I didn't realize it was 2016. That seems far back. Way far back. Like, damn. I remember when he debuted in NXT, and I was like, it doesn't feel that long ago.
I remember when he left TNA right when James Storm returned. And people were making a big deal out of it. Like, hey, James Storm just went back to TNA, and then Robert Roode left.
Well,
right when
I remember because he left. I want to say it was like 2011, maybe.
When Robert Roode left?
Was it? Because I remember.
No.
When did he leave TNA then? Right before WWE? Because I know he went and did some New Japan stuff. I remember him and Storm worked New Japan in like 2011. Was he still in TNA at that time then? Okay, now I'm looking at it here.
He left in 2016.
Yeah. Okay, that's where I got confused. Okay, so
he joined TNA in 2004. He's been there for for a long time.
Trust me, Robert Roode's been in TNA almost since the beginning. Freaking Team Canada. Yeah, no, he's
honestly, he's someone that they could induct into the Hall of Fame this year. At least they could have.
The TNA Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Put him and Eric Young together.
Let's put him in on his own. Former multi-time tag team champion, former TNA world champion. Like, he's done so much in TNA. He is a 2-time TNA heavyweight champion, former Mr. King of the Mountain, 6-time TNA world tag team champion, 2-time NWA world tag team champion. He won in 2009, him and James Storm won the Team 3D Invitational Tag Team Tournament. And then in 2013, he won the TNA Tournament of Champions. So yeah, no, he had a great career in TNA. Beer Money is still one of my favorite acts as far as tag teams in TNA and stuff does go. But as far as this Raw does go, we got to talk about this Raw. New Day were interviewed. Kathy Kelly interviewed the New Day. Xavier Woods said that they should have won the number one contenders match last week, and we would have if it wasn't for Chad Gable. Kingston raised his eyebrow at this comment. Kingston said the War Raiders didn't win straight up, but it didn't go down the way it was described. Woods said that Kingston dropped the ball because he's the one that got beat. Kingston suggested, let's watch the tape. As they argued, the feed cut to a White 6 video. Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas spoke in riddles as the camera focused on a man tied in a chair wearing a sheep mask. Bo Dallas revealed and removed the mask to reveal it was The Miz, who they had kidnapped the week prior. The Miz said that they wanted Final Testament, but he wasn't in Final Testament. Dallas showed his face and told Miz he was the one they wanted. Dallas told Miz that he would crawl on his belly through thorns, and he begged and pleaded for mercy. The Miz did. He said this kind of got weird, and I kind of was like, what are you even freaking talking about? But he said something about from the dust you are to the dust you will, we will return, or something like that. Dexter Loomis wore his mask, ran up behind Miz, and then the feed cut out. It was all kinds of weird, and they were talking in riddles that confused the shit out of me. What did you think?
I mean, there's a good story to it, honestly.
What they need to bring up is the whole Miz feuded with The Fiend. The Fiend came into Miz's home. They need to bring that shit up. That's why there's history. The Wyatts and Miz was of Bray and The Fiend.
That Bo was also like Miz's former Miz Taraj.
That's true too. There is that history there. Fuck, I miss the Miz Taraj. I loved Miz Taraj. I thought that was a great act. Miz, when he's got just somebody working for him, with him, a lackey kind of deal, is so good. Like freaking Alex Riley. Then we had Sandow. Then he had the Miz Taraj. It's like when he's got guys with him, and he's like the leader of a mini faction, I guess you could say. So good. So good. You throw Maurice in the mix, and it just elevates even more.
Miz and Maurice together was pretty good.
Oh, Miz and Maurice are probably two of the best, like, husband and wife combos in all of WWE.
If not all wrestling.
Yeah. We don't really see many husband and wife combos outside of WWE now that I think about it. I mean, we've got like Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards in TNA with the System. Mike Bennett and Maria, the Kingdom. But yeah, you think about it, you don't see many husband and wives. I mean, WWE's got Miz and Maurice. They've got Scarlett and Cross. They had Macho and Elizabeth. Beth and Edge. I'm trying to think what
With
others.
Seth and Becky.
Seth and Becky, yeah. Technically, when they were teaming and doing their stuff together, they weren't married yet, but that's a technicality.
Who?
Seth and Becky, they weren't married yet in 2019.
Oh. What about Brie and Daniel Bryan?
But did they really team together and do stuff together? That's my thing. It's like I always felt like Bryan would win something big and then Brie would be there to celebrate with him. Or Brie would get jealous when freaking that one time when Gail Kim was kind of flirting with Bryan backstage and Bryan was all awkward and yeah. That was weird. What were you gonna say? You said they did once?
They teamed once. They faced Miz and Maurice at Hell in a Cell after Miz beat Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam.
Yep. So moving forward, after the break, Cole said that their production crew had nothing to do with what we just saw. He didn't seem to be any concerned about the Miz either. We then had a 9-minute match. The War Raiders defeating the New Day. Eric gave Kingston a nasty-looking knee to the back of the head at one point. The War Raiders took control early, and then we went to a break about a minute and a half in. Kingston had made the hot tag after the break and ran wild until Woods tagged himself back in. Kingston was getting ready for the Trouble in Paradise as Woods tagged in. Kingston was perplexed why he did this. Eric then knocked out Kingston, and the Raiders gave Woods their finisher, the War Machine, their German suplex springboard clothesline combo, and pinned him to pick up the victory. So Woods gets pinned this time. Now Woods can't complain that Kofi dropped the ball. What do you think of the match itself? I thought it was just a simple by the numbers Raw match. Nothing special.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm still trying to think what they're going to do with this New Day thing.
How long do they keep teasing the breakup? Think about this. Think about this. They've been teasing A-Town Down Under breaking up since February.
Even when they won the belts?
They've been They've been teasing dissension between Waller and Theory since February. That's the first time we saw kind of like someone trying to tell Theory, hey, Waller may just be using you, and then Waller always being like, I'm this, or we kind of thing.
I mean, I kind of want A-Town Down Under to break up, mainly because I want to see both guys as singles guys on the main roster. Because, like, people forget, Austin Theory beat Cena at Mania.
True. Mr. Money in the Bank.
Mr. Money in the Bank. Grayson Waller, fantastic heel.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just hoping once these two break up, I'm kind of hoping neither of them go babyface or anything, because I really like these guys as heels.
Well, one's got it for the breakup, so I think it will be Austin Theory. But yeah, also remember, Austin Theory is a great babyface when he was in the way. Great babyface.
Was he a babyface in the way?
The Way was a babyface group. All of them were. Him and Johnny with the high five and all that stuff. Yes.
No, I thought they were heels.
No, the Way were babyfaces. At least they were cheered as babyfaces. NXT crowds loved the Way.
No, I'm pretty sure they were portrayed as heels, but fans just kept cheering for them.
I don't know. I always took them as babyfaces.
So. I know. I'm pretty sure they were heels though, because I know when Johnny was North American champion, he was always a heel. He was always like I don't want to face Bronson Reed. I don't want to face Kushida or Damian Priest. That was his whole thing.
True.
Candice LeRae, she was a heel as well.
But was that during, I know Candice was at one point, but was that during the Way?
Hang on, let me look this up.
We got bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules, where you look that up. It says, it looks like Io Sky's WWE and Stardom fans will dream of Io having a chance of becoming the first person of competing the Grand Slam of the major titles. What? That's not even a thing, bruh. There is no Grand Slam of winning. You're making stuff up. There's no WWE Stardom Grand Slam. So, yeah, you're making that up. Does Io versus Liv the plan now instead of later, like after WrestleMania 41? No one ever said there was a plan for them before or after WrestleMania 41. So Liv is just the now. And as far as you saying The first person to complete the Grand Slam of the major titles in WWE and Stardom. That's not a thing to say that I've won all the women's titles in Stardom and WWE, because there's not many that can say that. So it's like, yeah, you're making up new, what's the word I'm looking for? Not prizes, but like accolades that she can go for that ain't even really a thing. What do you got?
So in early 2020, Johnny Gargano turned heel because remember at that takeover, Adam Cole was facing Ciampa for the NXT belt because Ciampa had to relinquish it because he had that neck fusion surgery or whatever he had.
Yes.
And
so
Johnny won the belt. Johnny won it, then lost it to Adam Cole right after. So then
John Elite in the YouTube chat says they started as heels. So maybe I'm just not remembering the start, but by the end, when they did the Dexter Indy wedding stuff, they were baby faces.
No, maybe towards the end they were baby faces, yes, but like,
so I'm probably just not remembering the early part.
It was before the Dexter stuff is when they were heels.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
that's when I was watching NXT kind of off and on.
It was before the Dexter stuff. They were heels. Because that's when like Johnny Gargano was North American champion. He was like, his whole thing was like, I don't want to face. He didn't want to face Kushida because he was trying to do that fake injury storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And then and Austin Theory screwed over Priest to help Johnny win the North American title.
Oh my God. 30 seconds left in this football game and the freaking Bucks can tie it up. They're literally on the 1 yard line. Holy shit. This is wild. Touchdown. Now they just need that extra point. Don't go for the 2. They might go. Oh, Lord. It's 23-24. Kansas City up by 1 point. 27 seconds. Are they going to go for the 2 or go for the 1? Oh, this is wild. Is Baker Mayfield going to pull off an upset? Do they go? What do you think? Go for the 2 or go for the 1 to tie it and go into overtime?
Overtime would probably be the safest route.
That's what I would say. Bucks just tie it up, get that field goal. Yeah, it looks like they're going to kick it. That's what I would say. Holy crap. Baker Mayfield going to beat frickin' Patrick Mahomes, who everyone's mad at tonight because his mommy says she endorses Trump. Anyways, back to Raw. So second hour starts off so we already knew about this because we got, the leaks from the show yesterday, but they announced the Road to WrestleMania Europe 25, which is a 12 stop European tour in the second half of March 2025 on the road to WrestleMania, where we will be getting 3 Raws overseas and 3 SmackDowns overseas. So that's crazy. So just know that next March, from the 14th to the end of the month, there's going to be multiple Raws and SmackDowns filmed early because, well, they're filmed overseas. So this then led to Sami Zayn making his way out to the ring, greeted the fans in Arabic, and said how proud he was to be able to come out in front of the people and speak their language on WWE television. However, that's not why he came out. He wanted to address what happened at Crown Jewel with the Bloodline. Also, there's 27 seconds left in this game. It is tied, and Chiefs could still win this, not take it to overtime. We'll see. Jey Uso then makes his way out to the ring. Big, huge, freaking, oh my God, you don't see, like, I'm flabbergasted. Like, I know Jey is great and this and that, but when they were doing just the Bloodline, I would have never thought that Jey Uso would become like the number 2, if not maybe even number 1 biggest babyface in wrestling. Like,
did you see his t-shirt? Did you see his t-shirt sales?
No. Well, from when? Because I know he's done well.
Apparently, there was a report that came out the other day that said he's done better than Roman Reigns and CM Punk combined as far as like t-shirt sales go.
I will say
merchandise.
I will say when they first came out with that Yeet shirt, it sold like gangbusters. Like it was flying off the shelves. That Yeet shirt.
I still want to get that Yeet shirt.
Well, which one? There's multiple different ones. There's the white and blue. There's the black and blue. There's the black and gold. There's multiple versions of it, which is smart.
There's the blue one that I really want to get.
Yeah, the blue and white. Yep.
Blue and white or the black and blue.
So Jey makes his way to the ring. Go for it.
I honestly don't have that many wrestling shirts anymore. All I got left is a Randy Orton shirt and a LA Knight shirt, which is kind of fading away.
Yeah, I got just a bunch of random ones because I would get them from Pro Wrestling Crate and stuff.
WWE shirts, they don't last long. That Fanatics stuff, that stuff sucks.
I haven't gotten any of the newer WWE. Well, no, I take that back. I do have the Brock Lesnar country ass kicker or whatever it is. I think that's the only one that I got since the Fanatics. I got some older ones. Like I've got the old yellow CM Punk T-shirt. I still have that, and it's, other than being a little bit like got a couple holes in it because it's freaking a decade old, it still looks good. I know.
I still have my 2021 Bloodline shirt when Roman had like the blue Universal belt.
I think I know this one's all faded, but I have an old Bryan Danielson no shirt.
Oh, that's gotta be faded.
Oh, it is. Anyways, Jay comes out. This crowd fucking loves him. They're singing his song, Day One. Like they're just going wild and crazy. And he comes down to the ring. He's like, Sammy, I've been watching the footage, and I gotta ask, the kick, did you really kick Roman on accident, or did you do it on purpose? And Sammy's like, well, what kind of question is that? Like, why would you even ask me that? Jimmy then comes out. Jimmy said, we all saw the same thing. We know what you did, Sammy. And I'm so confused. And so is Sammy. Because Sammy's like, Jimmy, what's changed? You brought me into the bloodline and we were like brothers, dapping it up. Jay was the one that didn't like me, and now you flip-flopped. And I'm so confused by that. Why is Jimmy all of a sudden, I hate Sammy. Sammy can't be trusted. When he was the one always trying to be like, Jay, Sammy's here for us. Sammy's going to help us. Jay never, yeah.
I think it's mainly because like Jimmy's still like hurt that like Sammy betrayed Roman and it kind of made Jimmy feel dumb.
I guess. Daniel, it's been raining since before the game started in Kansas City. Anywho. So, where was I? Jimmy said, you can't trust Sammy. He did it on purpose. I think he did it on purpose. Zayn interrupts and said, Jimmy, probably be reminded of his own track record. Jimmy welcomed him into the bloodline. He was the first one to say that I was a brother and part of the family. And then when things started to go badly, he looked for somebody to blame. He blamed me. Jimmy kicked me. He kicked you. He kicked Roman in the face when things got bad. Jay left and got his own opportunities. Jimmy kicked you. Jimmy said he didn't owe Sammy any kind of explanation because he's not a bad guy. Crowd starts chanting Sammy Uso. Zayn told Jimmy that I don't hate you, and I never did. He said Jimmy wasn't a bad guy, but he made bad decisions. Zayn came out of Crown Jewel for one reason and one reason only, because I love Jay and I wanted to help Jay. Zayn admitted that standing alongside Jay, Jimmy, and Roman in that ring at that moment, it felt special. It felt like the old bloodline for 1 minute, and it felt damn good. We're going to overtime. But that's how long it lasted. Just for 1 minute. Then it all fell apart, like it always did for the four of them. Zayn wasn't doing this again. I wasn't going to be loyal only to be blamed. You don't need to test my loyalty. I don't need to be on trial yet again. He apologized to Jay and said, I love you, but if this is how it's going to be, I'm out. Zayn left the ring, but Jay then asked, hey, this Friday, come to SmackDown. It'll be the four of us. Roman will be there. Let's just talk it out like family. And Jimmy goes, family? He ain't family. And Jay goes, I've learned something since I've left the family and been on my own. Why is he not family? Because he's not blood? No, you don't got to be blood to be family. He is Sammy, and the crowd's chanting Sammy Uso. Ooh, so. And Jay hoped he would see Sammy on SmackDown. Zayn walked to the back. Sammy was so freaking great here. What do you think of this segment before I get into my theories with the bloodline?
I thought the segment was pretty good. It's effective. It sets something up for Friday.
Yes. So here's my theory with all of this. They need Sammy for War Games. But Sammy feels like they're not going to trust him. He feels like he's the odd man out. They don't want him there, even though he wants to help and this and that. I think you go to SmackDown on Friday and Roman's going to be pissed off. You kicked me in the head. Why shouldn't I beat your ass right now? This and that. Remember, we have 4 weeks till Survivor Series. Maybe not next week, maybe not the week after that. But I think before Survivor Series, Paul Heyman returns and says, my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. You see Sami Zayn as an outsider, a threat maybe. But I think we need him. And I think Paul is the voice of reason. The wise man is the voice of reason to getting the OG bloodline all back together and getting Roman to want to bring Sami back in, to agree, even if it's just for one night at Survivor Series, why Sami needs to be back with them. That's my thought process, that Heyman is going to be the one that brings the bloodline back together fully with Sami Zayn, Roman, and the Usos. Also, I've seen a lot of people say that Paul Heyman should be on the ECW NXT show this week. Hell no. He should not return before he returns to help the bloodline. I get it. NXT's from the ECW arena on Wednesday. They don't need Paul Heyman.
Apparently Don Marie's going to be on that show.
They're doing Lola Vice versus, fuck, I can't remember who, and Don Marie's the referee. It's a hardcore
Jada
match.
Parker.
Jada Parker, that's it. Lola Vice and Jada Parker. Don Marie's the referee. They've also got Bubba Ray working the match. Francine said she's going to be there. So we'll see who else shows up. But I know of 3 ECW names so far. Bubba, Francine, and Don Marie. Going head to head with NXT or AEW.
I keep getting Don Marie mixed up with someone else.
Who?
I keep getting her mixed up with Candice Michelle.
Really?
Yeah.
Candice Michelle was never in ECW. She came from the Diva Search.
Yeah, then they did that whole thing with her and Vince.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
You see Tori did an interview where she was actually proud of her dad for being in that whole storyline.
Hold on.
Because that was actually her dad, in that whole storyline.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff. Freaking Al Wilson. But yeah, no, that Don Marie, Tori Wilson, Al Wilson storyline that then basically
that was Candice Michelle, not Don Marie.
Wait, what? Or we might be thinking of 2 different things.
No, I said that Don Marie kind of reminds me of Candice Michelle a little bit because they kind of look alike.
Well, no. But I'm bringing up, you said Tori's dad. Tori's dad was in the stuff with Don Marie.
No, she was in the stuff with Candice Michelle.
Tori's dad?
Yeah.
No, that was Don Marie. He marries
Are you sure?
So, okay, we're going to go on a history lesson here. So, Don Marie, Tori Wilson, they're doing their thing. She then meets Al Wilson, Tori Wilson's dad. They end up getting married. Tori then says, I want you to stop being with my dad, this and that. Then they go to the Armageddon pay-per-view in 2002, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's 2003. But they do this thing where Don Marie says, come to my hotel room. Don Marie and Tori Wilson, they're in lingerie and they start making out. And then basically Tori's like, I'll give you what you want if you leave my dad alone. And then the storyline is that they killed Al Wilson because he had a heart attack having sex with Don Marie. That was years before Candice LeRae was in WWE.
Oh, Candice Michelle.
Don Marie was the one that was with Tori's dad.
Look, please look it up.
I'm looking right now. Trust me, I watched this all. I know this storyline. The stuff with Tori Wilson and her dad was with Don Marie. Don Marie married Tori Wilson's dad in storyline and then killed him when they were having sex. He had a heart attack.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, the Candice Michelle stuff and Tori Wilson stuff had nothing to do with Al Wilson.
Okay, yeah, now I'm seeing it.
Yeah, trust me, I remember all that shit. And yes, I know I said Candice LeRae instead of Candice Michelle. I apologize for that one. I got them mixed up. Candice. I haven't said Candice Michelle's name in fucking I don't know how long. So when I say Candice in wrestling, my mind goes straight to Candice LeRae. But yeah, no. Freaking when they aired that video of Dawn and Tori Armageddon, and like they're starting making out in the hotel room, and then Al's yelling in the background, cut it, I don't need to see this. You know how many horny teenagers were loving that back then? Two women in lingerie making out. God dang. So crazy. Just think if they had Twitter then. Everyone reposting those clips.
Could you imagine if they had Twitter back then?
I mean, that was what, right before the start of MySpace?
Yeah.
Anywho, got some more bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, the Io Sky Grand Slam in WWE and Stardom Grand Slam was a topic on Twitter. Okay, it still means nothing. It's not a real recognized thing. It's just random people make shit up. And then he says, Sami Zayn say a little Arabic. He always does in front of the Saudi crowds.
Okay, I see some people correcting me in the YouTube chat. Like, to be in my defense, I was only like 2 or 3 years old when that whole stuff happened.
Yeah, no, in storyline, they killed Tori Wilson's dad in 2003. That was well before Candice Michelle came around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The storyline was him and Dawn Marie were having sex, and he had a heart attack. Killed him. Anywho,
he wasn't actually dead. He died a few years later, I believe.
No, there was a storyline death kind of deal. But yeah.
I can't remember what happened after that though. Like what was that whole storyline to prove? Like what was the end goal of that?
Dawn wanted to get to Tori because she was attracted to Tori. So the whole thing was that she wanted Tori, so she got with her dad to then go, okay, if I can have you, I'll stop being with your dad, kind of thing. Yeah, it was a whole horn dog situation. It was a Vince fucking storyline if you ever seen one, I'll tell you that.
Right when Tori Wilson like debuted and like Vince wanted to have sex with her.
Oh yeah, right after the WCW stuff, like when the WCW acquisition. She wasn't with that I remember, the invasion. She came right after the invasion. Seth Rollins was interviewed by Jackie Redmond. Rollins put over Bronson Reed, said he respected their fight and knew that they would do it again. But that's down the line. Right now, it's all about him getting back the World Heavyweight Championship. And if he's got to do so, he's got to fight in a match that has 3 of the best in the world and, well, Dominic Mysterio. Gunther made that same joke later as well. He then said that he is fully confident in winning tonight. Then we had a match that went 11.5 minutes, and boy, did this match rule. Dragon Lee and Chad Gable was awesome. I thought this match was so good. Bit of comedy to start things off early on. With Dragon Lee snapping Gable's singlet against his body. They would then end up on the apron. And before we go to a commercial break, Dragon Lee ran at Chad Gable. Gable basically threw him up for like a belly-to-belly kind of deal. Freaking Dragon Lee took the front flip bump on the ground. Bada boom. Poof. That was a rough bump. Also, Chiefs just scored. Kareem Hunt. So, yeah, Chiefs beat
my brother traded.
Chiefs beat the Bucks.
My brother traded Kareem Hunt for Dak Prescott in our fantasy football league, and Dak Prescott's going to be out for a few weeks.
Damn. So, also, I'm going to say this right here. Yeah, the Chiefs won. Gotta give it up to them fucking Bucks. No one thought that they would even get this close. Like, everyone thought Bucks may be good a little bit in the first half, and then Chiefs will stomp them in the second. That's not what happened. Holy crazy. Anyways. Where was I? After the break, Dragon Lee gave Gable a double foot stomp off the top, but Gable gave him an overhead suplex into the corner. Dragon Lee super kicked Gable right in the face and hit a corner drop kick for a 2. They exchanged forearms until Dragon Lee hit a German suplex. Gable no-sold it and hit a German suplex of his own. Dragon Lee then no-sold that, and they traded counters until Gable hit consecutive German suplexes. Dragon Lee came back with a Liger bomb and got a 2 off of it. Gable suplexed Dragon Lee off the top and hit a cliffhanger DDT. Gable then tried to go for the cover with his feet on the ropes, and Zelina Vega knocked them off. Niall then went over and put Zelina Vega in a Dragon Sleeper, which distracted the referee for a moment. Rey Mysterio then came down, and basically Ivy was like, I'm not touching her. I'm going. I'll go my way, Rey. Don't touch. Like, very kind of weird. Anyways, Gable then tried to attack. Dragon Lee hit the Operation Dragon, the Destino, basically, and pinned Chad Gable to pick up the victory. So, yeah, I thought these two worked so well together. Give me another one. Give me another Dragon Lee Chad Gable match, because this match was awesome. What'd you think?
It was good. I mean, I kind of want them to use Dragon Lee better on the main roster, though.
Well, maybe this is our first step. Give him more matches with guys like this. Let me look at the Raw roster. Who else could he have good matches with like this? WWE Raw roster.
Braun Breaker.
Ooh, Braun Breaker and freaking Dragon Lee would be a great match. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the Raw roster.
Jey Uso.
That would be really good. Let's see. So if we look here, WWE's website, we go to Raw. We've got Braun Breaker, as you mentioned. Hell, Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed and Dragon Lee would be a great match because the size difference and the speed and power thing. Yeah, that would be really good. Finn could have a good match with Dragon Lee. Jey Uso.
Done.
Oh, that match would be awesome. Jey Uso, like you said. Hell, I could even see freaking Dragon Lee and JD McDonough being pretty good.
Yeah. Or
Kofi and Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee versus Dragunov, but Dragunov's out injured.
Right. That's why I skipped over him.
What's going on with Drew?
McIntyre?
Is Drew hurt? Yeah.
I think they're just selling. Well, I don't. So, two things. They're selling the injuries from Hell in a Cell, and Drew had to get them 16 staples in his head, and then had to be cleared from that once everything closed up and the wound healed. So I don't know what's going on with his head and the staples and that healing up. Because with that many staples, with as deep of a gash as it was, you don't want to bring them back too early and then it reopen, and that's a whole other thing. Oh, there we go. Dragon Lee and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Dragon Lee and Seth Rollins. Once he's cleared, which is going to be not for a long time, Dragon Lee and Tyler Bate would be really good as well.
Oh, yeah.
So with all of that, Gunther was interviewed. They did this interview from the WWE Experience. Jackie Redmond interviewed Gunther with Kaiser. I got a question for you. Is it just me, or Ludwig Kaiser almost look bigger than Gunther? Like height-wise, they're only like an inch or two off. But I don't know if it's because Gunther had like the jacket on and stuff. But Kaiser's like arms and shit looked way bigger than Gunther. I don't know.
He does look pretty big though.
Yes.
I think he's been hitting those chest workouts a lot.
Right. But they were interviewed at the WWE Experience by Jackie Redmond. Kaiser was pissed about the question of, you know, what's next after the loss to Cody Rhodes. Kaiser got offended. Gunther really didn't. Told him to calm down. Gunther says Rhodes didn't get lucky and wasn't undeserving. That night, Rhodes was the better man. Redmond asked about the number one contenders match later, and he goes, "It is a match with three very capable competitors in Dominic and Mysterio." He said Rollins' ability spoke for itself. Priest represented a difficult challenge, and he looks at Kaiser and goes, "And we know about Sheamus, right? We know about Sheamus." I was like, "Oh, what kind of shade did he just throw at Kaiser?" I loved it. Gunther said he was there and still the champion. But after losing on Saturday, it was on him to do better. He looked at Kaiser and said, they both need to do better. I thought this was good. Any thoughts?
I thought this was pretty good.
I liked it. So moving forward, we do have our main event of the night. Before we get into that, remember this show is brought to you by Aura Frames, so let's hear about them right now. Are you looking to capture and celebrate life's best moments? Meet Aura Frames, the must-have smart photo frame for every home. With its sleek design and crystal clear HD display, Aura Frames brings your favorite memories to life in stunning detail. Just connect your Aura Frame to Wi-Fi, and with the free Aura Frames app, you can instantly share photos and videos directly from your phone, no matter where you are in the world. It's perfect for sharing those precious moments with family and friends. Aura Frames also comes with unlimited cloud storage, so you never have to worry about running out of space again. And with features like auto brightness adjustment and an interactive touch bar, viewing and managing your photos have never been easier. So what are you waiting for? Transform your home and keep your memories alive with Aura Frames. Visit the link in the description below or head over to pwunlimited.co/Aura Frames now to bring your best moments to life. As far as the main, go for it. What's up?
I was trying to watch it. I was trying to watch that video on stream because I can't hear it over here.
Mm-hmm.
And right when it played, an ad played.
Oh Lord!
So I have to rewatch it like after this stream is over.
As far as our main event does go, it went almost 18 minutes. Fatal 4-way match. Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, and Sheamus. And why do we need this match? Why? I'm gonna rant for a second, I guess. I thought last week's match was technically a number one contenders match for Dom. That if Dom can beat a former world champion, Adam Pearce would consider giving him a title shot. So, where's Dom's title shot from last week? Also, Damian Priest gets pinned last week and just gets put into this one. Technically, if you don't want to give Dom the shot, you give Dom another opportunity in this match, but Priest shouldn't be even in this match. Priest lost last week. You're going to give a loser a shot at the belt? Yeah, none of this makes any sense. Like, the match last week that was the main event that I said didn't even feel like a Raw main event was all for nothing. Moot point garbage. Like, I don't even know. As far as this match does go, though, Dom tried to escape all the other guys going after him early on, but Sheamus caught him with the 10 beats to Baldwin. Priest gladly just watched, and then Rollins caught him with a schoolboy for a 2. Rollins wiped out Sheamus and Priest simultaneously with a suicide dive, and then hit one on Dom. Dom was actually in control after the break. During the break, shoved Rollins off the top to the outside and shoved Sheamus into the ring steps. Dom hit Priest with tornado DDT for a 2. Dom talked trash as he punched Priest, so Priest fired back with some strikes, a corner elbow, and a flatline. Sheamus then gave a backdrop to Priest, Rollins, and Dom. The crowd chanted for Sheamus as he hit Dom with a diving knee drop. Rollins broke up the cover, and Priest clotheslined him. After a commercial break, which is about 10 minutes in, Sheamus and Priest exchanged strikes until Sheamus hit the white noise and got a 2 off of it. Dom set up Sheamus for a 619, but Sheamus hit him with a power slam. Sheamus went for a bro kick, and Rollins knocked him out of the ring with a knee. Rollins then gave Dom a pedigree, but not for a cover. Rollins then set up for the curb stomp, but instead, out came Bronson Reed, who got his attention. Reed, who attacked Sheamus and Priest outside the ring. Rollins then went after Reed, but Reed clotheslined him and cleared the announce table. Priest and Sheamus then attacked Reed, who just rolled into the ring. Reed fought off both men and gave out Death Valley drivers. Reed then hit a tsunami on both men, and Dom just watched from the outside like, I'll let you go. Do what you're gonna do. Reed then put Rollins on the announce table, jumped up on the barricade, and gave him a tsunami through the table. Dom waited until Reed left to take the advantage. He hit Sheamus with the frog splash, but Priest broke up the cover. Dom then gave Priest a 619 and went for a frog splash, but Priest caught him out of midair and chokeslammed him with the South of Heaven and pinned him to pick up the victory. So there we go. Priest pins Dom, gets his win back, gets a title shot, and then Gunther comes out. The two stare down in the ring, and the show goes off the air. That was a really good main event. The Bronson Reed stuff, I was like, probably could have done without, but it made sense for how Dom gets control, and then this and that. It all made sense, and I thought it was very well booked. What did you think of the match?
Pretty good match, honestly. I mean, I will say Damian winning could be good for like storyline wise to help beef up his feud with like the Judgment Day.
Oh, that's done. He said he's moved on from the Judgment Day. He wants the title. He told Gunther that 2 weeks ago.
But here's the thing, though.
Go for it.
They could always attack him, though. Like, oh, you can't be done with us. Like, we'll be done with you when we say we're done with you.
Now, remember, whenever someone brings up Priest in the world title, Finn does still get mad. If you notice that, he still gets a little upset. So, I don't want to see it again, but there is a chance maybe Finn can screw Damian Priest. But the rumor right now is this match is taking place at Saturday night's main event, not Survivor Series, which is interesting. So,
yeah, I have no clue what they're gonna do for Survivor Series besides War Games.
Me neither. I haven't heard anything.
I don't even know what they'll do for the women's War Games.
That's a good question. Shit, I don't even know. Let me see something. Yeah, no, like there's no reports on this match might happen at Survivor Series or this match could happen. It's more of I'm going to predict what I think could happen. Here's my predictions for the show. Like there's no reports other than the Bloodline War Games match. No one has reported anything for Survivor Series and we're less than a month away. Wild.
I mean, I'm sure we'll probably get Braun Breaker defend the IC title.
That could,
maybe LA Knight defending the United States title.
Or unless they're keeping stuff secret and they're going back to like a traditional Survivor Series thing and we get like a Team Gunther versus Team Priest, Team Cody versus Team whoever. I don't know.
Nah, I don't want it.
I don't think they would, but I'm just trying to think of something, you know?
They should do how like SmackDown, like how it was last year, how Raw got the men, SmackDown got the women. Maybe this year they do SmackDown gets the men, Raw gets the women.
But who would be in that match though?
The women?
Yeah. You got Liv and Raquel, but you need what? At least two more. And then who are the baby faces?
Io, Kyrie, Lyra.
See, it all feels too random.
Or you do Io and Kyrie and Bianca and Jade Cargill against Liv, Raquel, and two other heels.
Yeah, see, there's nothing that seems to fit. Is my problem. Dave Decker, he says Team Liv versus Team Rhea. Rhea ain't coming back anytime soon. Rhea's going to be out for at least a month, if not longer, with that broken orbital bone. It's not a fake injury that they tried to make you think on NXT. Nope, that's a real injury, bub. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Wait, I forgot the polls. I forgot to check the polls. Let's check those really fast.
You know what would be cool, actually?
Go for it.
Well, if they brought Jordan Grace on the main roster to have like a small feud with Liv, and they had like Team Grace versus Team Liv.
I mean, that would make sense if she was in this battle royal tonight and won it, but now it's Io. That, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I get where you're coming from, but Io's the next in line.
Yeah.
Also, Jordan's doing stuff on NXT right now. She's in the big 10-woman tag on Wednesday. So she's got that too. But I don't know. As far as the polls do go, though, as we refresh all of these. As far as the Threads poll does go. 57% liked the show. 43% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter poll. 64% liked the show. 28% thought it was just all right. And 7% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll. 75% liked the show. 18% thought it was just all right. And 7% didn't like it. In the comments, all great. Watch tonight. This person says amazing. This person says, I think mature audience creator will need the what? I think the mature audience creator will need in the ring. I don't know what that even means. Will need in the ring. Huh. Looking at the live poll. Elite Tiss, you couldn't be more wrong. Is Jordan kind of generic? Fuck no. Tell me another woman like Jordan Grace. Oh, wait. Generic my fucking ass. That's called someone that doesn't watch TNA or any of her other stuff. As far as the live poll goes, 74% liked the show, 21% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. We had this conversation before, Elite Tits. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't comment. You did this the other day too, where you were just wrong of all wrongs. And everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
So with all of that, we are going to do another live stream tomorrow. We're going to do kind of like a twofer. We're going to do a gaming stream / a presidential election watch along. We're going to follow this damn presidential election tomorrow night and see who, in theory, wins the election. We're going to be following that all night. We're going to play a bunch of different games that you guys can play with us. Going to be some, I don't know. We're going to figure it all out, but we're doing a watch along for the election tomorrow night, and we'll see what happens. Is it former President Trump, or is it the new President Kamala Harris? With that, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.